70 kilogram world team trials, without a doubt, the craziest bracket, the deepest bracket. And in my opinion, I think it's the most unpredictable bracket. I've been having a really hard time trying to figure out who's going to win this. Now, I'll get into the key players, I'll get into the seeds and the bracket construction, all that. But the first thing you should know is that James Green is back, and he's back at 70 kilograms. And we had thought he was retired a couple of years ago. He had had hip surgery. The hip surgery went really well, and he said, hey, I'm coming back. And he ends up qualifying for the Olympic trials and wrestling there at 65. But he always said, even before those trials, my return to wrestling has all been about 70 kilograms. And so now we see that return. This is the first time we're going to see him at the trials at 70 since his several-year layoff. And so on paper, you would say James is the favorite here, right? And I would tend to agree, except for the fact that we don't know the exact condition he's going to be in. We didn't get a great look at him at Olympic trials. So I'm going to get into this bracket. There's a lot of landmines here. There's a lot of sleepers, a lot of really good and accomplished wrestlers. Let's just dive right in. The top seed, Alec Pantaleo. I'm going to kind of start at the top of the bracket, work my way down. Pantaleo will have a first-round bye, and he'll get the winner of Jaden Abbas versus Wyatt Sheets. He should be a solid favorite there. But as great as Alex looked in the past, he was a huge favorite in the 2023 U.S. Open. He lost super early to Butler, who now wrestles, I believe, at Rutgers. Huge upset, total shocker. So Pantaleo has to be ready to go because, I mean, Wyatt Sheets and Jaden Abbas, both All-Americans, NCAA All-Americans. That's a challenging match. Then you've got Yaya Thomas versus Paniro Johnson, a round 2 matchup. I mean, that could go a lot of different directions. Yaya has really, he's kind of been in a lot of different weight classes. 70 is probably his best international weight. Both guys are really good at getting the legs, can score and burst. Paniro making the U23 world team, is he doing this just to kind of like get a competition in, or is he really focused on making the world team? I'm curious to learn that. But Yaya or Paniro will likely get Alec Pantaleo in that quarterfinal match. That's a very challenging match for Alec because he's not going to have the speed, the burst advantage that he typically has over his opponent. So whether it's Yaya or Paniro for Alec, that's a tough matchup. In that second quadrant, Jarrett Jacques, who I think is kind of a snub at the 5. I mean, this guy had a deep run at the Olympic trials, and meanwhile, PJ Duke is the 4. Listen, PJ Duke's fine, but he's a high schooler with high school and junior level resume. He doesn't have a senior level resume. And this is the senior level, and we do separate them by ages because there is just a difference. So I don't understand the seeding here, but I don't get to seed it, so whatever. So Jacques will get the winner of Caleb Larkin versus Delgado. I think Larkin wins that match. I think that's a super interesting match for Jarrett Jacques, and I think Caleb Larkin can absolutely go on a run here. If you're looking for a sleeper at the, man, he's the 12 seed, Caleb Larkin might be that guy. He is fantastic. He really put the freestyle nation on notice when he won the Bill Farrell, beating Jesse Mendez, who everyone knows how good Jesse Mendez is. And also Larkin gave Yanni a great match at the Olympic trials. Larkin also teched Matt Kolazic. He's the real deal. And up at 70 is probably a better weight class for him. Can't wait to watch Caleb Larkin. So it'll be Larkin Jacques in that likely round of 16 match. Ian Parker will likely take on PJ Duke. I think Duke actually probably has the advantage there. He's just going to be a good bit bigger than Ian. But Ian has the experience. He's got elite wins. He's beaten Joey McKenna. So would not be surprised at all to see Ian Parker, who is the 13 seed, I think, take out the number 4 seed PJ Duke. But more of a toss-up match in my opinion. I mean, PJ Duke, think what he's trying to do. He just wrestled in Spain last weekend. Right now he's flying home, and he's going to wrestle in arguably a tougher tournament here at the Senior World Team Trials. That's just a really brutal turnaround. And I don't know how his body's going to respond. As great as PJ is, that's a huge task for anyone, much less a high schooler. So it's setting up like a Jarrett Jacques or Caleb Larkin versus Parker or Duke. I would say Larkin versus Parker there is the most likely. And the winner there will take on the winner of Pantaleo, Johnson, or Yaya Thomas to get to that semifinal. So savage. I see a lot of potential variance at the top part of this bracket. And then down below, the return of Jordan Oliver. Now he's fighting MMA, so you have to question, like, how much time has he been able to dedicate, because he's kind of got a new chapter in his athletic career as he's trying to make his way to the MMA fighter. So he's another one, kind of like James Green, There's no doubt the level that he can reach, but what level is he going to be at with his layoff from the mat? That's a big question. And he'll take on, this is probably the best first round match. Daniel Cardenas versus Jackson Arrington. Two absolute hammers at the NCAA level are going to square off in the first round. Winner gets JO. That's a rough assignment there. Jacob Berglund versus Evan Henderson will be a round 2 match. Winner there likely gets Jordan Oliver. So Jordan set up well to probably make a semifinal run. And then here's another, if you're looking for another landmine, this is not even a surprise to anyone, Bryce Andonian. And in freestyle, you think about the chaos this guy injects to his folk style matches. Now, freestyle probably favors his style even better. He's great at throws. He can go feet to back, those fours and back arch type of throws. He's great at those. Not to mention, not only is he great upper body, he's got incredible explosion, a very powerful double leg that can get 2 or 4 depending on how his opponent lands. I think Bryce Andonian has a bright future at the senior level, and this is going to be kind of his first real test, and I think he can go on a run, but he's going to have a really tough challenge, Will Luan, in his first matchup based on these pre-seeds. And Will Luan shut him down at the All-Star. Can he do it again in freestyle? I'm not as sure. I think Bryce Andonian probably a favorite here, but let's not forget, Will Luan is a cadet world champion, and that is no joke. He's really good, and I think everyone likes to poke fun at Will, but I think we're going to see a lot more points on the freestyle mat for Will Luan. That's a prediction. And then down below, the 2 seed, James Green, is going to get the winner of another crazy round 1 match, Vince Bouzakis versus Ryan Jack. That's a crazy one. I mean, Vince is a tough high school kid, very physical. I don't think he's going to get bullied on the mat. I think he's going to have a little size advantage over Jack, who is, an All-American NCAA wrestler, but Vince is probably going to be a little bit bigger. So I don't think this is a huge favorite for Ryan Jack. I think it's more of a toss-up. Winner gets James Green, and James will have a pretty solid test in that second round matchup. So this can play out so many different variables. I don't even want to. Now, no one is sitting out at this weight class. We have no returning medalists, unfortunately, at 70 kilograms. So the stakes are all even. It's fair across the board. And the big guns here really are Alec Pantaleo, James Green, Jordan Oliver. Those are the big 3. But man, if someone like Andonian or Caleb Larkin goes on a run, you can't be surprised if Paniro Johnson, Yaya Thomas, if they go on a deep run. And once they get on a deep run, all these matches are going to be coin flip matches, right? I don't think we're going to see, as great as James Green is, I don't see him teching his way through this, even though there's probably a period of time in his career where that would happen. I'm not sure that's where we are. We'll find out. It's back in Omaha, he's back in Nebraska where, he's had so much success training under Coach Manning and company, and can't wait to watch him. To me, this is the field you want to tune in the most for early on. Those early round matches are absolutely insane. I think there's upset possibilities across the board, and freestyle kind of lends itself to more upsets than some folk style matchups, in my opinion. So 70 kilograms is going to be a great weight to watch. I think you're going to love it. Saturday and Sunday, September 14th and 15th, all live on FloWrestling. Make sure you're checking it out. Who do you think is going to represent Team USA at 70 kilograms? I want to hear from you.